What's up, everyone? So Orange County did not end the weekend successful. They actually drop all 3 points against Tampa Bay at home, losing 3-0 to the Eastern Conference's best squad. But hey, it happens. This is soccer. You can't win absolutely every single match, even if you are the best team and are going to win a championship in 2026 like Orange County will do. So we'll talk about that match. We'll look ahead to how they can recover and start a new streak of unbeaten matches. Hey, let's get this thing started. Welcome to the show, champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, your first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans and supporters. Hey, we've been doing this thing since 2018, and one of those, or the person that started this whole journey with me, is Dylan. Dylan, how does it feel? Let's not even get into the match yet. How does it feel that we're one of the longest running USL like team oriented shows still alive?
Well, we're the best one, so that's pretty cool. That feels pretty good. I am proud of the body of our work. I'll put it that way. I'm proud of the body of producer Andy's work. I think that's maybe a little more fair, and Nathan and DK and everyone who's really written for the website. I'm proud of that body of work. Some of these Tuesdays it's a little dire, but that's okay. We like to have a little bit of fun, and even though we are 4 white-ish dudes with beard-ish talking into microphones, man, we are a lot better than a handful of other people. So it could be worse.
Beardish-ishness. I don't know.
I'm
what
never
you call
going
that,
to put
Dylan.
myself on that. I'm like a 12-year-old boy over here. It's just not happening for me.
Well, one of the shows that we outlasted is 1868 Weekly or something like that Brad was a part of. He now officially is part of our show for the last 4 or 5 years now. Brad, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I got to celebrate my first wedding anniversary last weekend, which is always nice. And I'll keep my intro a lot shorter than your guys's. Go read Nathan's article that goes live today.
That goes live today? Okay, we'll do that. One last person help us out in this episode, the newest member of our regular team here, and that is Matt. Matt, how are you feeling today, as of this recording?
Today I feel great. My Legos came today. I got the Minas Tirith Lego set, so I am all sunshine and rainbows, regardless of OC results.
Have you built the set? That's the big question, man. Have you completed the set yet?
It is 8,000 pieces. It'll take me a good 2 weeks, but I've started. You can see behind me.
So by the end of this episode, Matt, I expect to see a lot more on that Lego.
I would never disrespect you guys
design there.
Building while
talking. Yeah, and we're trying to have a little bit of fun here to start the show, because obviously this past weekend wasn't the most beautiful result for Orange County Soccer Club, as they lost an 11 versus 12 match 3-0 to Tampa Bay at Championship Soccer Stadium. Matt, I believe you said you were going to be there. Did you make it to the match this weekend?
I did make it to the match this weekend.
You did. So you get first shot to talk about this match, of what you and the other fans saw at the stadium. Go just your general impression of the match, then we'll get a more detailed breakdown of stuff.
I'm trying really hard not to overreact. I think on one hand, this game taught us a few things, or maybe it was a few lessons learned. Expectations maybe simmered a little bit here. On the other hand, we played arguably the best team in the league. We had an unfortunate early penalty that changes the flow of the game. I think it was pretty back and forth at that point. I don't think we were great, but at least it felt somewhat even. And then once they get the goal, we kind of have to come out and not really play our game. It's something I think I talked about in the parking lot after, was something this game tested was us going down first, which we haven't done as far as I know. Nathan will probably correct me. That we probably haven't done in a long time that I can remember, going down early in a match and having to actually come back. So a test that we didn't maybe pass there. And then, I mean, they're a good defense. I think McKinnon's a big miss for us. It really felt like we just were a little feckless and didn't really have much going on going forward. So, yeah. And I think the ref had a game of two halves, which you'd usually say about players. But I think outside of the Scylla call, which I think was maybe in the first half, but he gave them a lot of yellow cards. And at one point I was kind of arguing with our own supporters saying, like, relax, because he actually was controlling the game well and giving them yellow cards for persistent fouling on Scylla. They were giving him what I call the Hazard treatment, which is if you can't defend him, foul him. And then it seems like he kind of just, I don't know if refs get this thing where like they feel bad that they've given out so many fouls or cards to a team, so then they just stop doing it. And it's like the Rowdies didn't stop fouling, so why are you not? I don't know. I don't know if it was like a foul fatigue that the ref got, but yeah, just a frustrating performance from him on a few specific calls, and then just in general, I think he again just stopped calling things as much as he probably should have. Yeah, tough loss. We move on.
The team will move on, but we still are going to talk about this match a little bit more. I want to get into the 3 goals conceded by Orange County, which definitely, obviously, is a rare occasion in this season. And when this team, the way they are constructed, the way they play, concede 3 goals, it's almost a guaranteed loss from what we've been able to see. But the 3 goals, I guess what I saw in what I saw is they weren't, I mean, obviously there's a penalty in the first goal. And then the other goals, I mean, second goal, Orange County just needs to clear the ball. They got to, I don't know how there was 6 orange jerseys around that area. No one could get their foot on the ball to get it blasted out of the box. Someone just needs to do that, which that's the disappointing part there. Third goal, it was what it was. Dylan, your thoughts, was it that Tampa Bay deserved that 3-0 scoreline when you look at everything, or was it just some unlucky chances that Orange County conceded that led to goals for Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay deserved this one. It was probably the only person that had a worse time than Orange County or its fans was the man at the center of the park. I won't name names, but when I saw him, I recognize him. Usually not a great sign. There's a handful of other refs in this league, like Elton Garcia comes to mind, where you see the name and you go like, great. Like this is going to be stupid. And that's what we got. So congratulations to Colorado Springs, who get him at the weekend. That being said, look, deservedly a penalty on Rando. Absolutely a foul. And going the other direction, that's not even remotely an attempt to play the ball when Bazzini's, I don't know, like spear tackled down on half an hour. So that was pretty frustrating. And I think if we go in at 1-1, the game changes completely. I don't think we lose that game 3-1. I don't think we concede twice from that point. I think we just bunker and maybe we get a point there. By the time that it's, I mean, I don't even know where to begin with the, this isn't just like Orange County lost because the ref was garbage, but I truly don't understand how we even concede the second one. It's clearly a foul on Scylla, and then Orange County just does nothing instead. It felt like Orange County wasn't up for this, to be honest. There's a whole bunch of things that kind of go against them, and it just looks like they didn't have the fight in it. Saw that last year when we hosted New Mexico, that they just didn't have the fight in them. All right, cool. It's fine. Have that game at the beginning of August, figure it out, and don't do it twice in a row. But, again, Orange County has plenty of blame to shoulder this one going both directions. Bazzini not having a great night. Obviously, he was fouled and probably deserves a pen in that situation. And I'll back him 3 or 4 times to score the pen. That's, mathematically how it works. One shot in the second half or 0 shots in the second, like that's, you might want to take some shots if you want to get back into a match. And for all the times that we were losing in 2022, credit to Milanowski for at least taking shots. Credit to Dylan Powers for taking shots, because you got to try something at some point. And we didn't try. So long story short, it's a deserved Orange County loss because we didn't do much of anything, it felt like.
All right. Let's be fair. Like you said, the penalty that Tampa Bay got, it was a deserved penalty, but it's an unlucky penalty for Orange County. It's not like there was anything that could have gone slightly different there, other than maybe Garrison Tubbs going down a little bit easy when his jersey's getting tugged pretty hard. Maybe that forces the ref to stop the play there, and then you don't get put in that position where Rando takes out the Tampa Bay player and concedes a penalty. Let's all remember too.
I do like that as a center back, he's not just going down there, because if he does go down in that situation, like I don't want to see him playing back there again. Throw Tyson Espy back there and just like, I don't want to see my center back falling over easily. That is like, to me, that's for people who play up the pitch. That's for tricky little players. No,
it's on Rando.
Like, be a big dude. Yeah.
Rando needs to make himself big there and just sit there. He doesn't need to dive in like that. There wasn't really a need for it. Just get close to it. Do the little squatting with your arms out thing, just to put yourself in the way of the ball, and I think we're fine there. That's a mistake.
It's easy to say that after the fact, but it's a very quick play, and Rando was thinking he can get to the ball, and I mean, honestly, like a millisecond difference in time, and maybe he does get to it first. Brad, you're sitting there nice and quiet, so I want to give you a chance to speak. Let's say this. Let's remember Orange County had an opportunity to be up 1-0 in this match when Benalcazar got that shot right at the top of the box. If that shot goes in, is this a completely different match? Like Dylan was maybe mentioning that Orange County probably doesn't drop all 3 points.
I don't think so. Mostly because I think Tampa Bay came with a really good game plan of, let Orange County just kind of do whatever they want with the ball, especially in the first half, and then pick us apart because we'll make a mistake. I think we've been at our best when up against, some good offenses. We are able to control the game with our defense, and Tampa Bay said, okay, cool. Your defense is good, but like, what about your offense? And for the better part of the game, Orange County had 0 shots. I think somebody said that already. And just like in Argentina in the World Cup final, you can't win a game when you don't have any shots. So I definitely think Orange County needs to take a look at this game, in the whiteboard and say what went wrong, what went right. Sure. As a player, I'm pretty much, thinking we were screwed a little by some of the calls by the referee in the first half, but that's not the reason that the team lost. And there's a lot to learn, playing against a team like Tampa Bay, who have been on an absolute tear this season. They're right now top of the league, and they showed us why.
Yeah, there's a reason why Tampa Bay. Go ahead, Dylan.
I'm kind of curious for you. This kind of show, I forget. I might have been Andy that Tampa out Orange County'd, or out Orange County in this situation, which feels accurate. I mean, Matt touched on it. Just foul Scylla, or just mark him out of the game. What does Orange County do outside of that? And like for you, the most experienced coach of the 4 of us here, what does Orange County do differently? Because if that's the game plan, it's pretty easy. You just need enough dudes to pick up yellow cards. It's not that hard. You could have 4 or 5 midfielders tasked with that.
So you want Orange County to pick up? You want Orange County to just keep picking up yellow cards?
No, it'd be literally like anyone can play against us, and all you have to do is mark Scylla out of the game, because we don't have a striker that can consistently score goals. So how would you set up, your team, I guess, in this regard? Or what do you hope Orange County does to not see this happen against Louisville and Oakland and every other team we play until the end of the year?
That's a tough one. I can't really give you an answer on this because this is the first time we're seeing this. It might be something where we need to see reaction from the players and just sort of see if they've learned anything from this. If this becomes something that's a consistent, like week in, week out, where I know we're not seeing the goal scoring up top. That's consistent, but it has worked for us so far. This is the first time that we had a team that was able to, I guess, like producer Andy said in our back chats, out Orange County in this situation. Now they've sort of shown the blueprint, but they are also a very high level team. They're top of the league for a reason. Doesn't mean that any team now is going to be able to copy what Tampa did to us, and it's going to be just horrendous for us the rest of the way. It's one of those things where you can't really panic at this moment. There are things that have been working for Orange County. If we can keep doing what we need to do against teams that aren't as good as Tampa Bay, it's going to put us in a position to be successful. Now, if this now over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we see the same thing and teams are finding this blueprint, this is now where you need to tactically try and figure out some changes. And I really don't know your answer for that, Dylan, because anyone that we've tried up top to be a goal scorer isn't really working. So other than bringing in someone new to try and score goals for us, we have what we have on this roster. I've never been a fan of like a 2 up top, like 2 striker setup. That's never been my preferred style. It's always been more 1 up top and maybe some some wingers on the left and the right to get stuff in. But I'd have to really go back and look at the makeup of this team and see if that would even be possible. So that's my best answer for you, Dylan.
That's fair. Maybe we can get Milan Olowski on loan.
Or Bryce Jamison.
Matt doesn't appreciate that.
May I have a stab at that question?
There's just no
too?
chance. He's scored like six games in a
Yeah,
row.
he's beyond us at this point. But Brad, please take a punt.
Yeah, so for me, one of the things that I'd like to see differently is if we're playing through the midfield with Scylla, I think we have plenty of quality to be able to swap and play on the sides as well. Dogman's back. He's healthy. Haggard's been here all season. Stephen Kelly's had some flashes of brilliance throughout the year, made multiple teams of the week. We got some quality players that we shouldn't be relying so much on Ousmane Silla in the midfield to produce these quality plays. And don't get me wrong, Silla has made some amazing efforts on the pitch, but I'd like to see us play a little bit out of the wings, out of the right and left backs, and see what we can do to create extra space, because it's when we have that extra space that Silla is able to produce in it. And giving the stretch of the field just honestly needs to happen a little bit more in the next game.
I really love that. The only thing I can think of, and I've thought about this constantly since Saturday night, was how do we free Ronaldo Damas from his purgatory in Birmingham, because they are terrible. We need a goal scorer. We at least need someone that can hold the ball up or run in behind. And it turns out that he's actually pretty good at all 3 of those things. Maybe it's just the rose-tinted glasses of 2021, but I feel things would have been a little different with him up top. Anyway, Ray, you can have the show back. I'm done hijacking here. I kind of wanted your thoughts.
I feel like the last bit that you're saying there is you're just getting this like historic vibe because Andrew Fox was sitting on the Tampa bench there, so maybe you're just wanting to see some past Orange County players on the pitch for us, like Ronaldo Damas. It's a tough one. It's interesting because we've seen in the USL where even when the transfer window is done, players are going to get released or they're going to terminate the contract, mutual agreement, and then they sign elsewhere at some point, which is well within the rules of the game. So that would be where you could potentially improve this roster at this point of the season to try and find another goal scorer. But that would be something where you got to figure out, is that even an option? And that's not something to rely on. So it's trying to figure out where we have. I'm a little concerned is, we had players last season and in the past that are dangerous on the wings and getting high up the pitch. So Bryce Jamison comes to mind when you think of a player and I don't think we have players like that this season, at least that I can recall, that are playing right now and have been playing big minutes. It might be due to injuries. It might be due to the roster makeup, but I think we're missing some of those players. And even, with Dogman being out so much, he was a player that got high up the pitch quite often to make some crosses. I think that's something we're missing. And again, I'm not a fan of two strikers up in the middle. I'd rather have more spread out attack with some high up the pitch wingers. Matt, you're a soccer person. Soccer. You know a little bit about tactics. What are your thoughts? Is there anything that you can answer to Dylan's question that you'd want to maybe see change tactically or whatnot?
Actually, yeah, there's a good segue into something I was going to talk about. I'd love if we have any conversation with Danny Stone soon. A question I'd love to ask him is, what attributes does he look at because to me, it makes almost no sense. It's working, but it makes no sense to play Scylla in the middle and Haggart on the wing. I think Scylla is profile-wise, is so much more of a winger. And I'd love to see him on the left side, just taking on fullbacks, doing what he does, but from a slightly more forward position and from the side, whipping, doing the kind of inverted winger type of thing on the left. That's something I'd love to see us try. I mean, I don't want to overreact to this loss and change something that's been working, but it would be something I would definitely try. But I think the overall issue really is personnel. I mentioned earlier, missing McKinnon is big for us. We just don't have anyone that can step in. Zubac has been struggling. To your point, Brad, sadly, I mean, I'd love to see more fullback stuff, but we're playing a defensive midfielder at right back, and Dogman, very much saddens me to say, has just not looked himself. I think we kind of commented multiple times during the game that it was just not working for him in this game. He made a couple of mistakes and didn't really do a whole lot going forward either. So if he can kind of get back to his best, then I think that would be a big help. But I just don't see it happening right now. I don't know if it's the injury or just he hasn't really gotten back into it. So that'd be my kind of answer. I do have two quick other things. One, just a silly thing. Funny that you mentioned the ref, Dylan, because Blaine literally during the match was like, Dylan hates this ref.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you texted him or something, but he literally said it in the first 10 minutes. He's like, Dylan absolutely hates this ref. And then come to find out, he proved you right.
I didn't say his name specifically because after the last time that I could remember him reffing an Orange County match, and he was only a assistant ref in that match, Blaine was like, hey, we need to be, mostly at me, we need to be nicer to the refs. And that was
just funny that he
2018, I think.
He
maybe
called
2019.
Before any of the bad calls even happened. And then one thing I will say, just Brad, I think, made a good point on kind of the how this game kind of shook out. I think it's a lot of what I said a couple weeks ago, which is when you're the home team, you're expected to play on the front foot. I think the Rowdies kind of exactly played right into that and said, you guys have the ball, you guys beat us, you make a mistake, we're going to counter and we're going to punish you for it. That was something that we'll see if it's not just a one-off, but that was my fear a couple weeks ago when we kind of came into this run of home games. And, we're our tactical whatever setup is working really well in road games because it suits our style really well, especially considering all of our issues with personnel and stuff like that. I don't know that it suits us to be on the front foot at home. And I'm hoping this is just a one-off and that we can dominate teams better. But I think the Rowdies kind of exactly called said, hey, come at us, go for it. And we had no answer for it. So absolutely agree with that, Brad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Orange County reacts to this. So Orange County, again, loses to Tampa at home 3-0. I believe Gunner from Soccer in 60 spoke to Orange County's Tom Pruitt after the match, and I believe we have a clip of that. So let's play it.
Checked in last sort of earlier in the season and things were looking good. not great at the time. They became great after that. So I kind of wanted to forget today, what changed? What made you guys so good coming into today's game?
Yeah, I think our mentality towards every game is what's got us that club record unbeaten run. I think to a man, we've been on the front foot, we've been aggressive, and we've taken responsibility for winning games and for not losing games, and that's what's got us to the position that we're in. I think tonight was a wake-up call, and we've got to get back to doing what's got us in the position that we're in.
We talked to Liam McKinnon this week, and he said he thinks part of why you guys did so well is because you kind of had nothing to lose. It was like, this is a daunting task to go on the road and play so many. We should mention that the national team was here, so you guys had to go on the road a lot. Yeah. Did you feel that kind of let's just go for it? What do we have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I agree with him. I think that's also an expectation that we put on ourselves, that it doesn't matter where we are, who we're playing against, we expect to win games, especially at home. So yeah, of course, that road game felt like the road trip that we were on for a couple of months felt like we had an opportunity to pick up points where maybe we weren't the favourites going into it. But look, we ground them out and stayed unbeaten. So now it's really important we capitalise on that. Now we're back at home.
Final question for you. I do want to look at today a little bit, but maybe you kind of mentioned, call it a wake-up call, a potential wake-up call. How do you draw something positive from this? What's something that, I know it's right after the game, so it's always hard to say, but what are you seeing that you can maybe latch onto and be like, we need to work on this, or this is maybe something we can, make into a positive from this game?
Yeah, I think to an extent, sometimes the negative can be a positive because it allows us to iron out the wrinkles. It allows us to iron out the small details that have cost us tonight. Switching off in moments, lack of a killer instinct in certain moments, lack of responsibility in moments, both sides of the ball, not taking plays off, all that sort of thing. If we use that negative from tonight as a positive to learn from going forward, stands in a good stead for the rest of the year.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We checked in earlier in the
And that clip was from Instagram. That's courtesy of Soccer in 60. Soccer in 60 covers soccer in Southern California on AM 1270. They do a show, I believe it's every Thursday. So check them out. Follow for more soccer information. Great information to find. So glad we could share that clip with y'all. Unless anyone else has anything to say, we can move on to look and see if we can figure out how Orange County can move past this and get back in their non-losing ways. Does anyone have any last comments about this match against Tampa?
Let's leave it with the captain.
Let's leave it with the captain, and let's hope that he is in a better mood for the next match for Orange County, because you could tell he was definitely not happy with the results there against Tampa Bay at home. The next match isn't going to be much easier as far as just quality teams in the USL, although maybe not as quality as they are in past seasons. It's still a very tough opponent. It's LouCity coming out to Championship Soccer Stadium this coming weekend. Similar sort of looks. Again, the main difference from Orange County from a lot of the opponents that are in similar positions is Orange County has lost less and drawn more of the matches. But other than that, some very similar stuff. Maybe not as good of a defense for LouCity, but as with his probably every opponent that Orange County faces, especially quality opponents, definitely more attempts on goal, which we were talking about it last week with Tampa Bay. They had similar looking shots and shots on target compared to Orange County to look like they dominated it. And this past weekend, we saw what happened. I'll go to you, Brad, on this one. Thoughts on this upcoming match against LouCity? What do you need to see differently from Orange County, or is there anything Orange County can do differently in your eyes that can give us a better result?
Yeah, LouCity, I think, has been a team of kind of Jekyll and Hyde all season. They've been phenomenal at times, and they've been absolutely dreadful at times. Nothing more stands out than their August 1st game against Tampa Bay, who we just played, where they went back and forth to a 5-4 defeat. And it was one of those games that just on paper you look at it and sure, they scored 4 goals against Tampa Bay and allowed 5. but that's kind of just been how they've been all year. A couple injuries in their roster, turnover with a new coach coming in, and the old one getting or leaving fairly early on in the season. But this team, honestly, is going to be a lot of the same as what we just saw against Tampa Bay. They are still on paper a very good squad. They are still on paper a playoff team that's the bell of the league and is going to potentially make a dark horse run this season. Still the same team that people thought was going to win the East this year again, and definitely going to be a lot of competition in this game.
Yeah, LouCity has always been one of the better run teams in this league, and they are always a tough matchup, whether it's a home match or a road match. Matt, I don't know how much you know about LouCity. Is there anything that scares you from them, or just give your overall thoughts on this upcoming match if you don't know enough to give a proper answer on LouCity?
I'm not going to say I'm studied the LouCity tape or anything like that. I'm just looking at the stat sheet here, and 311 shots compared to our 190 is a staggering difference. So I'm sure we'll be prepared for a bit of an onslaught. But no, I mean, it's one of those things where like it's saying something when they're in fourth and you're like, what's going on with LouCity? Like they're always top two. Maybe I can't remember the last time I've seen them finish outside of the top 2, 3, or 4. You know, like they're always up there. They're always a good team. When I look at them, I'm thinking, what's gone wrong this season? Not this is not a great team. There must be something, because they're just that type of team, right? They're always up there. Their team is always one of the top 2 or 3 in the league, and as far as on paper, and you know, I know that they put their money where their mouth is, and they want to win. It's one of the most successful USL teams there is. So, yeah, nothing scares me other than the name, I guess. You know, it's just you expect them to come out and put a good game against us. Hopefully, we have a good response to the last game. Hopefully, we get a couple people back. I know Palomino, I know War. Maybe I don't know what's going on with McKinnon, but if we can get a couple people back, I think this is similar to how I looked at the Rowdies game, where, you know, I'm not saying we should win this game. I think if I'd be okay with the draw going into it, but it's one of those where let's see what happens.
Oh, we've got the doorbell from producer Andy. Producer Andy, jump in here. What do you got?
Just to respond to Matt's comment about them being one of the better teams in the league, they have never finished the regular season lower than 5th.
Yeah, that adds up.
That's
And
impressive.
they have one finish in 5th, one finish in 4th. And every other year they've finished in 1st or 2nd.
That's very impressive for a team at any level, because regardless of your level of play, it's tough to be that consistently good, especially when you look at the USL Championship. I mean, they've sent some players on to bigger and better things, just like Orange County has, and to be able to continue to be a quality team in the league is awesome. Dylan, do you like Orange County's chances in this match?
It's hard to root against us. We're still top of the West, even as bad as Saturday was. I think this is a good opportunity for every single player, to be honest with you, to show something better. Not different, better than what they showed on Saturday. I think this is an opportunity for the club to kind of prove themselves to everybody else. The West has been chaotic. It's been a bit of a bloodbath. I mean, the fact that we've been on a good, but not, we're not blowing teams away every week, and we've held on to first for a long time. But we can tell the rest of the league, like, yeah, actually we do belong here, and we're here for a reason, with a good result. And honestly, it's going to be important to get a good result against a team in the East. Orange County's really struggled with that. for what feels like since one night in November 2021. So, this is it's not make or break because ultimately we're still first in the West, but my optimism for how deep this team can go really hinges on this performance, not necessarily this result, but certainly this performance.
Brad, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in this match? Orange County versus LouCity. Give us your just sort of quick futuristic view into Sunday morning, 30 seconds. What do you think the result is? How do you think you're feeling about Orange County's performance?
Yeah, first thing I need to see is the team to change tactics a little bit. Sitting back isn't going to work again. It didn't work last week. It won't work this week. In order to be successful and for us to be, waking up with smiles on our face on Sunday morning, is the team to take the first 15 minutes of the game very seriously, pepper a couple shots on target, and make LouCity defend a little bit and control that early tempo.
And what's your final score line on this match?
With that said, I'll probably say 1-1.
1-1. Matt, as Brad was talking, I saw you doing a little bit of a head, like side to side, like, do I agree with it? Do I not agree with it? Give your thoughts on what Brad said and how your opinion differs, or if you agree.
Yeah, I disagree because I just think if we turn this game into a basketball game, we don't win that game ever. I think our probably best chance is a 1-0 super defensive try to. Yeah, I mean, they do have. I pointed out how many shots they've taken, but their goals are barely more than ours is, if at all. So let them have shots, keep it tight. They're going to take shots from outside the box that are very low percentage chances. Let them have them. I would say sit deep. Hope Scylla can make a piece of magic, or Haggard or somebody can conjure up something and try to just snatch and grab a 1-0. I think that's our best chance. If we come out and try to, we're gonna hit you guys, then they're just gonna hit us right back, and it's gonna turn into a 5-4 like it was. But I don't think it'll go our way.
Yeah, I don't think to put it in basketball terms, I don't think if we do the 8 seconds or less strategy of the Phoenix Suns and put that into some sort of soccer tactics and try to do that to LouCity, I don't think that works for Orange County either. I think part of the reason why we're playing the style we are is just the way this roster is built and the injuries we're dealing with. I think this is Coach Danny Stone just trying to say, hey, this gives us the best opportunity. Yes, it's not the most beautiful, it's not the most exciting, and it's not always going to work. But right now, with the way the roster is built, the injuries we have, this is the best way to try and keep Orange County on the positive side of things almost every week. Again, Tampa Bay, I don't think it was as horrendous as it maybe looks on the scoreline because, again, none of those 3 shots or goals are these like amazing, like tactical. They did it in play that really just destroyed Orange County. Again, that first one was just Rando being a step slow to react to the ball, or maybe being over aggressive to attack the ball. The second one is just the ball just sitting there. No one decides to clear the ball. They're just all watching it and thinking someone else, hey, teammate, clear it. Oh, you're not going to clear it? Okay, other teammate, clear it. And then Tampa's like, okay, you want to give it to us? We're going to take it. Third one, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Again, Rando just sort of not doing what we've seen out of Rando all season. Really, if you look at it, if Rando is playing the way he has played majority of the season, the result against Tampa is different. I think if we get Rando from most of the season against Louisville and the defense of most of the season against Louisville, then we have a good opportunity to get 3 points. And if not, at least come away with 1 point, which again, against a tough team like Louisville, 1 point is not the worst or the end of the world. Right, Dylan?
It's not. But this is not the time to start faltering. I think, unfortunately, never is a good time to falter, obviously. It's a results-based business. But when you are top of the league and things are, for lack of a better term, heating up, these all feel like such lazy platitudes, but this is not the time to go like, we don't know how to score a goal. And you know what? If things go poorly in the first 20 minutes, we forget how to defend. I think that was atypical of Orange County, but 1 point's not the end of the world. Just maybe a bad performance is.
Cliches
So
are
then what's your
cliches for a
scoreline?
reason, Dylan.
What was that, Matt?
So cliches are cliches for a reason, Dylan.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
What's your scoreline on this, Dylan?
I'll give it 1-1. I think Orange County needs to score a goal in this game. I don't think a 0-0 is a positive performance, but I do think I agreed with Matt. I actually put in our little chat, like, if we sit deep and just force him to take pot shots, those are low XG chances, and I back Rando to kind of come back from last week, and I back our defense and our midfield to come back from next week. I think if we get Scylla and we can get Chris Hagart to run at their defense, Orange County has a result, and we can show a different way of playing.
So here's my thoughts on this. And I disagree with you 100%, Dylan, when it comes to this is not the time to start faltering on your matches. If anything, this is a great time to do it, especially after Orange County went on such a long run of unbeaten matches. I think teams can get a little complacent and get a little bit too confident at this point of the season where they've done that. And now they're going to maybe be overly confident heading into the playoffs. I think this is actually the perfect time to get slapped in the face once or twice to remind the players that they aren't infallible, that they can lose a match, and that it's not as easy as maybe it has seemed throughout the season. Now, if this was happening the final 2 weeks of the season where we're losing to a team pretty bad and now heading into another match and potentially getting a draw or another loss, then I'm scared, and that's the wrong time to do so. But this is, I think, the perfect time to do so. Remind the team that they really need to focus in. They need to really play tactically to their best, and whatever their best is based off of the roster they have, whatever Coach Danny Stone has set as this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to be successful. And again, this also is a great time because now Coach Danny Stone is learning, hey, if we play Tampa again in the future, they destroyed us with the game plan we had. We need to come up with something different. So I think this is the perfect time to get a loss or two under your belt after such a great stretch. Against LouCity, this might be a very tough match for Orange County. I think both Brad and Dylan went 1-1. I think, Matt, you said 1-0 maybe.
I didn't. But
I don't want
mind.
Maybe it's just because you were sort of leaning there during your talk. Brad is now trying to put up a 5-0.
I'm just trying to get
Don't
you to
do
say
it.
5-0. Do it,
I'll
Ray.
do it.
You want me to do it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I
Brad's
feel like
trying
that's
to-
the energy. That's where you're trying to go here.
Brad's trying to bait me into this, and I actually was trying to be very serious about this. And I'm going to get a lot of hate from people. I think this is going to be another loss for Orange County. And I think another loss for Orange County against LouCity is going to be a good thing for this team. Because remember, a few weeks ago, I predicted, hey, Orange County is going to win the championship. Brad was like, I'm not even going to put odds onto it until we make the playoffs. I said, no, 100% we're winning the championship. I'm going with a 1-2 loss for Orange County against LouCity. This 1-2 loss is going to wake the boys up, and it's going to get them back into what they need to. It's going to get Coach Danny Stone figuring out what did not work against two of the tougher teams in the East. What did not work? Where can we improve? So when we make this final run and get into the playoffs, we will be able to figure things out and we will be successful. We will win 4 matches in the USL playoffs, which will get us that championship. So I apologize for ruining everyone's mood with my prediction, but that is my prediction for this particular match. Dylan, you wanted to definitely jump in and say something.
Yeah, bud. I love that you are so committed to often being wrong. Now, I hope you are right about Orange County at the end of 2026. But my God, they don't need to get slapped in the face again. If they haven't figured it out that Saturday wasn't it, they don't need a second one. They're smart enough to figure out that they don't get away with that 2 weeks in a row. And you can have an off night in the playoffs and get it away with a result. You can force it to pens. You can get a lucky goal and hold on and just play poorly. But if you do that 2 weeks in a row, you go home.
LouCity LouCity won't teach us anything by beating us. I don't think we lost due to complacency. I don't think we lost because of some like tactical plan. I think we lost because game state was unfortunate and probably more so personnel. Just we have no one that can score goals right now other than Bazzini and Silla. Silla got fouled out of the game. Bazzini had an off day, got fouled and could have had a pen. Like those two things are different. Who knows what happens? I don't think this is a team in need of a wake-up call. I think the effort and everything was there on Saturday. I don't think losing to LouCity teaches us anything that they didn't already learn last week.
Oh, they will learn stuff and it'll get them more focused. That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to go with it. And y'all can't change my mind on that. Here's what I'm going to say for our listeners. If you disagree with me 100%, let it be known, jump on social medias, follow us, comment anywhere, send a post, tag us on it and say Ray is right or Ray is wrong. And you can go with it. Make sure you also follow our podcast on wherever you listen to us to make sure you let us know that you're listening to us. And you can, even on some of those, I believe on Spotify, you can actually comment on episodes and talk about stuff as well. So do that. And that'll let us know this stuff. That'll let us know what's up. Hey, and by the way, let's do this. While you're listening to our show, whether it's the live version, the video version on YouTube, or a podcast form, tag us and let us know where you're listening from. Take a picture if you want to and share your picture of you listening to the show. Yes. Dylan's laughing at me like, because you know why Dylan's laughing at me right now? He's nervous that he's going to see a lot of responses or tags of the podcast that, yep, Ray's right. Ray knows what he's talking about and everyone else is wrong. Right, Dylan?
Buddy, I live in a cave. Where am I looking to see? Let me put it this way. If you need help typing Ray is wrong, because that's the only thing that you're getting back, I'll type it for you.
You're going to like create like a QR code where they can scan it. It'll automatically type
whatever it takes.
Let's do this. We've gone through the prediction for that match. Anything else y'all want to say about this upcoming match against LouCity before we move on and start wrapping things up?
What good is a 4-sided triangle anyway?
I don't know.
I'm just here for all the deep cuts. Like Ray was talking about the fact that we've been doing this since 2018, and I think it was 2020 when LouCity decided that they didn't want their kind of weird 2014-esque logo anymore, and the first option they had a 4-sided triangle. Graphic design.
I forgot all about that, Dylan.
Yeah,
I forgot all about that until you brought that up now.
I'm old, so here we are.
Let's do this. Let's talk about soccer. Any other soccer stuff in it? There's the old logo that everyone's talking about, or not everyone.
Thanks, producer Andy.
See, this is why we love having producer Andy, is because he is on the ball, man. I guarantee you he did not have the LouCity logo prepped and ready for this conversation, and yet he still was able to get up there before we wrap things up with this. Let's talk about, is there any other soccer stuff anyone wants to discuss before we wrap things up? You know, Premier League coming back soon. The EFL Cup kicked off, I believe, this past weekend, or maybe it was the League Cup. I don't know which one it was. Dylan was looking all like I said something wrong. So go, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm super jazzed. It is the League Cup. It's the Carabao that has kicked off. I'm super jazzed for the return of EFL play this weekend. So there's so much to look forward to. I said I think during the World Cup that I was going to need a break from soccer, and the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been like the Dave Chappelle, like scratching my neck, like, hey, you got any more matches? Like, I found myself with a free hour on a Saturday morning and was like, what do I do with myself? Like, I don't know. I need to consume as much soccer as possible at all times. So I am jazzed for even more.
Thank God for OC, because I legitimately used to, and still to an extent do, get seasonal depression between like the end of May and like August. We're
going through withdrawals.
It really does like affect my like weekly routine. You know, I just have so much like media that I consume having to do with like the Premier League and soccer and stuff that OC, I'm fiending for that in the summer, especially.
At least for you, Matt, that's only from like May to like August. For someone like Brad, it's like year round, the depression from following the English soccer team, and me recently year round thing as well. Right, Brad?
My team was like 10th place last year. It was not a horrible year.
Okay, 2 years ago for you, Brad. Here, I got a challenge, and this I'm giving you plenty of time with this challenge. This is my random soccer talk. We're gonna dress up for Halloween this year, and the challenge is we have to dress up as our Premier League team's logo or badge, best way you can. However, you can make it work. You can
Andy,
be creative
pull up
with
Chelsea's. How am I going to
You
dress
could
up
be
as that?
you be creative with it, Matt. Be creative with it. I mean,
I'll be
you've
the
already
lion.
got half of it. You've already got half of it going with the shirt you're wearing tonight, so you'd be good to go with that. But yes, that's the challenge for all of y'all. Producer Andy, Larry, and anyone else that's part of this podcast. That's a challenge for y'all, and let's make this happen.
Dylan, did you see who Luton Town drew in the next round of the cup?
I sure did. We'll be beefing. Don't worry.
Going for 6.
Time to wrap things up with a random thought for this episode. I'm going to go to you first, Brad. Go for it.
Yeah, for me, my random thought is agreeing about the just missing of sports. I literally was sitting on the couch talking to family today. I'm like, man, there's like nothing going on. It's so boring. There's like, I'm literally watching Guy Fieri's grocery games on repeat because that's like what we're putting on. And I would just love to put on like some actual sports. And my mother-in-law was like, baseball's on.
So I take it you don't
No
take
more. There's no more commentary needed there.
no,
Dylan,
I was
what's your random thought of the week,
Brad,
Dylan?
let me talk, Brad. Let me talk. You don't take show advice from our guest and watch Love Island. Come on, Brad. Dylan, what is your random thought?
I think my random thought was really inspired by the last 10 seconds, and it's that Ray is very similar to Kevin De Bruyne, in which he just really wants to be able to speak. Matt doesn't approve. I know my references are good because Matt just
deep
shakes
cuts
his head.
today are just wow.
Well, I know his ball. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair.
Matt, your random thought.
I'm trying to think of a clever one for the Lego set I'm building for Gondor, but I'll just say that for Gondor.
All right. Perfect. Hey, here's my random thought. I'm right. That's all it is. You all know it. Don't forget it. With that said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Orange and Black Soccercast. I do want to thank my fellow co-host, Dylan, Matt, Brad, producer Andy, also, letting us use the clip and play the clip from Soccer in 60 of Tom Ruitt. Remember, listen to them on AM 1270. And you can hear about Southern California soccer, which is cool. With that said, hey, thank you. Oh, everyone that participated in the chats also, thank you for doing so. This is the Orange and Black Soccercast. Guess what? We're out.